All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show. New head coach at Army, Kevin Kuwik, the Black Knights out of the Patriot League, West Point. Coach, you outside in the beautiful campus there. I love the background. How are things up there at West Point today, man?
Uh, hey, I tell every recruit it's always 80 and sunny every single day, 365 a year.
I hear that, Coach. Man, ask you, man, having served in the Army yourself for 10 years there, being in Iraq, man. So tell me, how does it feel to be at lead this university and find young men who want to serve this country and serve it well and be pillars of the community and help this nation move forward, man?
Well, JR, obviously, this is a crazy time for college athletics right now with transfer portal and NIL. And, so for me to be at a place where, honestly, these young men, they're here for something bigger than themselves, and, to me, that's got to be around them every day. It's a blessing, and, we're trying to do something special here. And I'm getting a chance to work with some, just awesome young men.
100%, coach. And like you said, man, it's funny that how just in this environment, people like you at Army and Navy and VMI, Citadel, like you said, it's for another purpose. And finding young men who want to fulfill that purpose. Do you cast a wide net trying to find the right fit for you all to come up there? Because I know it's not like NIL money. It's about service and wanting to be a servant leader for your current country.
Amen. You said it better than I could say it. It's something special. It's the scholarship there that isn't totally a scholarship, but not only am I preparing, guys to hopefully be great players and have a great team, but I'm preparing them to be future, platoon leaders and officers in our armed forces. So that's a serious responsibility and obviously something I did myself and I feel really strongly about.
Coach Kuwik, let me ask you this, man. At what point did you decide you want to get into coaching? I know it's usually like you play, you're around the game. So what was your trigger to say, hey, I want to get into coaching and help lead young men and build young men's characters?
Well, I think my whole family's educators, JR. My father was a junior high math teacher. My mom was a first grade teacher. My brother's a K-5 principal, but my uncle was a high school PE teacher and a high school football coach outside of Buffalo, Lackawanna, New York. Won a couple state titles. He was a guy I really looked up to. So obviously I played baseball and basketball growing up. Notre Dame was my dream school. I honestly wasn't good enough to, going to be good enough to play there. So when I got there, I volunteered with Coach McLeod's staff, and I kind of, I guess was an apprentice, if you will, and kind of tried to learn the ropes. And when I got off active duty, the assistant coach, Fran McCaffrey, who's now at Iowa, kind of took me under his wing, helped me get my first D2 job. And I've kind of been fortunate enough to kind of climb my way up the ladder.
No doubt, coach. I know when I was younger as being a co-host, I don't think in my head, if I was the main host of my own show, what I would do. So assistant coach, you're still a little loyal to your boss, but how you prepare your mind to become a head coach when you're an assistant coach and how you kind of whether how I would do things if I had my own program.
That's a great question, Jared. Obviously, I've been really lucky to work for some amazing head coaches. Thad Matta, Bob McKillop, Archie Miller, Brad Stevens. You learn something from everyone. But as a leader, a guy that's been an officer in the Army, and you're more than comfortable being in front, running the deal yourself. I think you're taking notes along the way. As an assistant, you have to be loyal and supportive. But hopefully, you're envisioning what you're going to be when you get your chance to kind of be the guy calling the shots.
No doubt. And that's the thing about it, coach. I always tell my interns here, I say, hey, you might not do it the same way I do it, but do take some notes and always kind of project ahead because it's about that long-term view. And being an Army, it's really a long-term view because all these guys not play in the NBA, play overseas, but they'll play for the country. So they have finding the right young man with that long-term view to recast that wide net. Coach, it's be really fun to talk to these young men and see whether they're the right fit for this program.
Well, a couple things. One, to your point, they're going pro as officers. They're not going pro as players necessarily, but and those guys don't necessarily grow on trees. So you gotta look every corner of the country. We got a kid from Hellgate High School in Missoula, Montana, and got California and Arizona and Wisconsin, and we're looking to every corner of the country to try to find these guys that have kind of the character. The leadership traits, and then obviously the talent, that we need to compete at this Division I level. So really excited. We got a great group of young men. I think we got some great stuff to work with, and looking forward to hopefully having a special year here this year.
Now, how cool has it been to kind of team build, know these young men who you're now coaching? Because as you and I both know, you didn't choose those guys. They didn't choose you. You chose them. So how's it been getting to know them, telling them about your background, who you are, where you came from, that you were in the Army office for 10 years in the Army. So how's that been, young men getting to meet you and know about you and your background?
Well, I think it's awesome. I mean, just to be able to come at them from the basketball side of things, where obviously West Point is the premier leadership development institution in the whole world. And they're getting that 24/7 for 47 months, and it's high quality. I mean, it's a formula that works. I mean, this place has turned out some amazing generals and business leaders, and you name it, in all corners of the United States. But I think for our guys, again, preparing them to be lieutenants and to be the best leaders they can be, for them to have a coach that did it, I think I can kind of talk a little bit different language for them and come at it a little bit different way. And, hopefully that kind of resonates with them. And again, just gets them a little further along in our goal of, making them the best leader they could possibly be.
And leadership, coach, is what we need in this country, coach, so much as leaders. It's like, people want to take the lead and actually do something, not just talk about it, not just tweet about it. True leadership. And I feel like that's so important because I know my father taught me to be a leader, not a follower. So my father was always big on, hey, son, take the mantle yourself. You have an idea, you run with the ball. So being at West Point, that's like that all the time. So it's great to hear that those young men have a guy like you who's been in their shoes, who's this is what how coach did it. This is what I can be as well.
I know. I appreciate it, JR. Obviously, I'll be honest. I mean, we're doing all that stuff, but we want basketball to be fun as heck, man. And we're trying to be the best players we can be the best team we can be. And, I want them to have the time of their life for these 4 years. I mean, obviously, this is a transfer landscape, and I want those guys to think that we can't get what we're getting from this coaching staff, the workouts, the practice, the style of play. It's the best, and I wouldn't want to do anything else.
And coach, how are you going about? How's it been working out for the guys on the court so far? Seeing what you have to work with, so you can mold them for summer development. Because as you and I both know, player development is so key to basketball. Those summer workouts, we're not worrying about game planning for teams when guys can really get better, hone their skills, and be the best players they can be come November when it tips off.
100%, JR. We're not getting 4 and 5 star guys, whatever it is. And so, we want guys that, I don't care if they're negative stars, 0 stars, 2 stars, whatever, come in with a little chip on your shoulder, come in with some intangibles, great leadership, great discipline. And then we've gotten to gym, and these guys have been awesome. I mean, we got 5 men that are, 6'9", 6'10" monsters. And, we got Jalen Rucker's got a chance to be Patriot League Player of the Year. I mean, we got some talented guys. And then we got guys on a wing that, we had guys benching 365 yesterday, and we got some guys doing some stuff. So I've really been encouraged, by what I've seen on the court so far. And I mean, it's a long journey. We're not a finished product by any stretch, but I think we've had an awesome, April and May. These guys are about to run around in the woods for a month and a half here and do their military training. And then we're going to get back after it in July and August, and we'll be ready to hit the ground running.
And coach, for you, Patriot League is a league that it's not on the front burner a lot. But it's just some great coaches in that league. I know Matt Langle does a good job up there at Colgate. Army's always been there. My man down at La Jolla, Tavares, does a good job. What about the coaches in that league and the league itself? Because I feel like people don't see it enough. It's some great ball, Patriot League, coach.
No, I think the Patriot League is a really well-coached league. Now, there's actually 5 new head coaches this year, JR, so it'll be interesting. But what Matt's been doing at Colgate, obviously, that's kind of been setting the standard. And, Brett Reed's had some really good success at Lehigh. I mean, across the board, I mean, hey, to be a Division I head coach it's a big accomplishment for anybody. I mean, you got to earn it every single night in a league like this. And I'm looking forward to that challenge. And I know our guys are too.
And coach, for us, another part of your job is hard is scheduling. How's that been for you? I know you try to find games, find people to play you. How has that been? Trying to schedule these games up there for your team, man.
Well, JR, here's the deal. When you're the new head coach on the block and you lost a, senior 4-man and you had a couple starting guards that transfer, everyone wants to play you. They think they smell blood in the water. So we just take that as a little challenge. And, whoever ends up on the schedule, we're looking forward to showing them what we're all about.
And coach, before you go, well, what's been your favorite spot to eat up there in Westport so far since you've been up there, man?
My favorite spot to eat?
Yeah, we're foodies
Yeah.
here, coach. We love food around here, man.
Yeah, we're kind of up here in the sticks a little bit, JR. But I will say, being my wife's back in Indianapolis, so I'm kind of on my own, and I certainly have no cooking skills. So, the Thayer Hotel is kind of legendary. So I've had a couple hamburgers and a couple prime rib sandwiches in the last month, and I give it 2 thumbs up.
I hear that, Coach. Well, Coach, thank you for your time today. It's fun to chat with you. Best of luck to you, the Army. I hope to see you real soon. Come down here for Lake Ford, the Peace Jam, trying to find some young men that fit your system. Take you out to lunch sometime. We're down here in Atlanta, Coach.
I appreciate you, JR. Have a great day.
Thanks, Coach.